The massive chamber was quiet, so quiet that even the smallest sound could be heard. J1 walked to the center of the room. He was not tall, but something about him made everyone look at him. His dark blue military uniform was crisp and clean. Behind him, huge screens showed images that made the alien delegates uncomfortable. These screens displayed weapon designs, not simple weapons, complex machines that looked like they could destroy entire planets. The aliens watched with worry in their eyes. 12 years ago, everything had been different. When the first alien ships found Earth, they did not think much of humans. They saw a young species that seemed too violent and too divided to survive. The official reports were clear. Humans would destroy themselves before they could become a real problem in the galaxy. Those reports were wrong. Very wrong. J1 knew this. He had studied every single report about humans from the past decades. He understood something the aliens did not. Humans were different. Humans did not play by the rules that other species followed. The Krultheri, a species that had traveled the stars for thousands of years, had been the most vocal. They said humans were dangerous. They claimed that without help from more advanced races, humans would burn themselves out. They talked about human problems: wars, pollution, fighting between countries, technology that seemed to move too fast. But humans had surprised everyone. In just 12 years, they had changed everything. Where other species took hundreds of years to develop new technology, humans did it in months. They learned faster. They adapted faster. They built things that made the oldest and most advanced races look slow. J1 looked around the room. Each alien representative was nervous. Some had dark skin that looked like metal. Some had multiple eyes. Some were tall and thin. Some were short and round. But right now, they all looked the same, afraid. The Galactic Council had invited humans to talk, but this was not a normal meeting. This was a warning meeting. The alien races wanted to tell humans to slow down, to stop building weapons, to follow the rules that had kept peace in the galaxy for thousands of years. They did not know humans very well. J1 carried a small device in his hand. It looked simple, but he knew it contained more data than the entire computer systems of most alien species. His team had developed it in just 3 months, a breakthrough that would have taken other races decades. The screen behind him changed. It showed Earth, not as a weak planet, but as a strong, united world. Cities that glowed with new technology, massive space stations, ships that could travel faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. 12 years ago, humans had been seen as children. Now, they were becoming something else, something the galaxy had never seen before. The aliens in the room knew this. They could feel it. Humans were not going to ask for help. Humans were going to change everything. J1 smiled. It was not a friendly smile. It was the smile of someone who knew a secret. The secret was simple. Humans were here, and they were going to do things their own way. The meeting was about to begin. Hai-Jin stood in her lab. Around her, machines hummed and screens flashed with complex data. She was not a big person, but her mind was huge. Her team called her the Queen of Innovation. Other scientists called her something else, a problem. Humans had always been good at one thing: breaking rules. When the alien races shared their technology, they thought humans would copy it. They were wrong. Humans did something else. They looked at alien technology and then made it better. Much better. The lab was inside a massive research center in what used to be called Silicon Valley. Now it was called the Global Innovation Zone. Governments from all over Earth had come together. They did something nobody expected. They stopped fighting each other and started working together. Hai-Jin remembered the old days. Countries used to fight about everything. Now, they worked as one team, one planet, one goal: to show the galaxy that humans were not weak. Her current project was special. Most people would not understand it. It was a weapon system that could change shape, not just a little change. The big change. Imagine a weapon that could become something else in seconds, a ship weapon that could become a ground weapon, a defensive shield that could turn into an attack system. The alien races had fixed technologies. Their weapons did one thing. Humans made technologies that did many things. This was why they were scary. On the main screen, a 3D model spun slowly. It looked like metal art, but it was more than that. Each piece could move. Each part could change. It was like a living machine. "Commander," she called to her team leader, "we're ready for the next test." The team was mixed. Young people from everywhere on Earth. Some were from China, some from Brazil, some from Nigeria, some from Russia. They did not care about old borders anymore. They cared about one thing: making humanity stronger. Outside the research center, giant ships were being built. Not like alien ships. These were different. Humans had studied alien designs and then created something new. Faster ships, smarter ships, ships that could think and change faster than any computer. The Proxima incident had changed everything. A small conflict near a distant star system had shown the galaxy what humans could do. When other species would take months to respond, humans acted in hours. Their technology was so advanced that it shocked everyone. Hai-Jin touched a screen. Numbers and graphics moved. She was not just an engineer. She was an artist. Her weapons were not just machines. They were solutions to problems nobody had solved before. The alien races had shared their knowledge thinking humans would be limited. They did not understand a key thing about humans. Limitations were just challenges waiting to be broken. Her team worked in silence. No need for many words. They understood each other. Each person knew their job. Each person knew they were part of something big, bigger than themselves, bigger than their country. They were building humanity's future. On another screen, global defense systems lit up. Satellites that could protect entire continents. Communication networks that could not be broken. Defensive systems that could stop attacks before they even started. Hai-Jin smiled. The galaxy thought humans were weak. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The world had changed. Everyone could see it. Humans were no longer waiting. They were moving. Fast. J1 sat in a command center that looked more like a living brain than a traditional military room. Screens covered every wall. Each screen showed different parts of human space defenses. Some showed ships. Some showed weapon systems. Some showed planetary shields. The alien races watched, and they were scared. Every time humans built something, the galactic powers tried to slow them down. They sent messages. They made rules. They tried to create limits. But humans saw these limits as challenges, not walls. Take the orbital defense platforms, for example. Other species had space stations. Humans built something else. Massive platforms that could protect entire planets. But that was not enough for humans. These platforms could also attack. They could move. They could change. One platform could do the work of 50 alien warships. And humans were building them faster than anyone could count. The quantum communication network was another surprise. Old alien communication systems could be blocked, could be attacked. Humans created a network that was almost impossible to break. Messages could jump across star systems in seconds. No delays, no weak points. J1 understood something important. Humans were not just building weapons. They were solving problems. Each weapon was not just a tool to fight. It was a solution to a challenge. The Krell theory had first complained. They said humans were moving too fast. They said humans were creating weapons that could destroy entire civilizations. But humans had an answer for everything. "We are not creating weapons to destroy," Hai-Jin had said in a famous speech. "We are creating systems to protect, to prevent wars, to stop conflicts before they start." Nobody believed her at first, but then they saw the results. In the past, small conflicts could grow into big wars. Humans changed that. Their technology could stop fights before they became serious. Their communication systems could solve problems faster than old diplomatic channels. The defense research centers worked day and night. Young scientists from all over the world joined these centers. They were not just building weapons. They were building the future. Nano-weapon systems were another breakthrough. These were not normal weapons. They could change shape. They could think. They could solve problems faster than any computer. Imagine a weapon that could become a shield that could become a communication device that could become a repair system. This was what humans were creating. The alien races had rules, old rules, rules that had kept peace for thousands of years. Humans did not care about these rules. Humans made their own rules. Some alien races saw this as a threat. Some saw it as hope. But everyone saw that humans were different. The orbital platforms grew larger. The communication networks became stronger. The weapon systems became smarter. And the galaxy watched, sometimes in fear, sometimes in wonder. J1 looked at the screens. Each screen showed a different part of human progress. Each screen told a story of a species that refused to be limited, a species that saw challenges as opportunities. The escalation had begun, and nobody knew where it would end. The galaxy changed, and nobody saw it coming. Humans were not what the alien races expected. They did not become destroyers. They became protectors. This was something nobody understood at first. Take the Mira conflict, a small star system where 3 different alien races were about to start a big war. Old problems, old fights, the kind of conflict that had burned through star systems for thousands of years. Then humans arrived. They did not send warships first. They sent communication teams, smart people who could talk to different species, people who could understand problems, people who could find solutions. The communication systems were special. Humans had created technology that could translate not just words, but feelings, not just language, but culture. They could help different species understand each other. Where other species would send weapons, humans sent understanding. The first time this happened, the alien races were confused. They expected humans to fight. Humans chose to solve problems instead. In the Proxima sector, a conflict had been burning for 50 years. 3 different species fought over a small group of resource-rich planets. Millions had died. Billions had suffered. Nobody could solve the problem. Humans arrived with a plan. Not a simple plan. A complex plan that looked at the root of the problem. They did not just stop the war. They helped the species understand why they were fighting. They created shared economic systems. They built communication networks. They showed the fighting species how they could work together instead of fighting. The weapon systems were always ready, but humans preferred to use them as a last choice. This was different from how other species worked. Jin explained it once in a public speech. Weapons are not just tools to destroy, she said. They are tools to create peace, to show that fighting is not the only solution. The orbital defense platforms were not just for fighting. They could protect entire planetary systems. They could stop attacks before they started. They could create safe spaces where different species could talk. Humans had learned something important. Fighting was easy. Solving problems was hard. The Galactic Council watched. At first, they did not believe what they saw. Humans were changing the rules of how species dealt with each other. In the past, a small conflict could grow into a big war. Humans stopped this. Their communication systems could solve problems faster than old diplomatic channels. Their technology could prevent fights before they became serious. Young scientists from all over Earth joined special teams. These were not just military teams. These were problem-solving teams. They studied conflicts. They understood why species fought. They created solutions. The nano-weapon systems were another surprise. These were not normal weapons. They could become shields. They could become communication devices. They could repair damage. They could help species that were hurt. Some alien races saw humans as a threat. Some saw them as hope, but everyone saw that humans were different. J1 knew this was just the beginning. Humans were not just defending themselves. They were defending the galaxy, one problem at a time. The defense platforms grew. The communication networks became stronger. The problem-solving teams became smarter. And the galaxy watched, sometimes in fear, sometimes in wonder, but always with respect. The message arrived on a Tuesday, a digital communication that made everyone stop and pay attention. The Krell Directorate was angry. Their message was clear and simple. Humans needed to stop. Stop building weapons. Stop creating new technologies. Stop changing everything. J1 read the message 3 times. Then he smiled. Not a friendly smile. A smile that made people uncomfortable. The Krell had been in space for thousands of years. They thought they knew everything about technology, about war, about survival. Humans were about to prove them wrong. The message was long, but it could be explained in simple words. You are moving too fast. You are creating things that scare us. You must stop. Humans did not work that way. Humans saw warnings as challenges. The communication center was busy. Young people from all over the world worked together. They did not see borders anymore. They saw one thing: humanity's future. Jin walked into the room. She carried a folder with new weapon designs. These were not just weapons. They were solutions to problems nobody had solved before. Show them the data, she told J1. The data was simple but powerful. In the past year, human technologies had stopped 3 potential wars, had saved millions of lives across different star systems, had created communication networks that helped species talk to each other. The Krell wanted humans to stop, but humans were just getting started. J1 prepared a response. Not an angry response, a calm response. A response that showed data, numbers, proof. He showed how human technologies were making the galaxy safer, how their communication systems could solve problems faster than old diplomatic channels, how their defensive platforms could protect entire planetary systems. The orbital defense platforms were growing. They were not just big. They were smart. They could change. They could adapt. They could solve problems before they became serious. Some alien races saw these platforms and felt fear. Others saw hope. The nano-weapon systems were another surprise. These were not normal weapons. They could become shields. They could become communication devices. They could repair damage. They could help species that were hurt. The Krell message was just the first. More would come. More alien races would try to slow humans down. But humans had learned something important. Limits were not walls. Limits were challenges waiting to be broken. Young scientists worked day and night. They were not just building weapons. They were building the future, a future where different species could talk, could understand each other, could solve problems together. J1 looked at the message again. The Krell wanted humans to stop. But humans were creating something new, something the galaxy had never seen before. A system of defense, a system of communication, a system of understanding. The response would be sent soon, and the galaxy would watch and learn. Humans were not just a species anymore. They were a solution to problems nobody had solved before. The world changed, and it changed fast. Jin stood in the center of the biggest research center on Earth. Around her, machines thought. Not like old computers. These were different. These could learn, could change, could solve problems nobody had seen before. Artificial intelligence was not new. But human AI was something else. It was not just a tool. It was a partner. A system that could think faster than any living being. The defense networks were alive. Not with blood, but with data, with understanding, with the ability to solve problems before they became big. Take the quantum communication network. Old systems could be blocked, could be attacked. Humans created a network that jumped across star systems, messages that moved faster than light, information that could not be stopped. The alien races had watched humans for years. They thought they understood humans. They were wrong. Each new system was not just an improvement. It was a leap, a jump that left other species far behind. The nano-weapon systems were magic to other species. They could change shape, could become shields, could become communication devices, could repair damage, could help species that were hurt. But it was more than weapons. It was understanding. Hai-Jin's team worked on something special, an AI system that could understand conflict. Not just fight, not just defend, but understand why species fought, why problems happened, how to solve them before they started. The orbital platforms grew, not just in size, in intelligence. They could protect entire planetary systems. They could stop attacks before they happened. They could create safe spaces where different species could talk. Young scientists from everywhere worked together. They did not see borders. They saw one thing: humanity's future. A future where technology solved problems, where communication was faster than conflict. The quantum computers were another surprise. They did not work like old computers. They could solve problems in seconds that would take old computers years. They could understand complex situations faster than any living being. Some alien races saw this and felt fear. Some saw hope. But everyone saw that humans were different. The communication systems could now translate not just words, but feelings, not just language, but culture. They could help different species understand each other in ways nobody had done before. J1 watched the systems grow. Each day, something new happened. Each day, humans solved another problem, created another solution. The defense research centers worked day and night. They were not just building weapons. They were building understanding. They were creating systems that could prevent wars before they started. Imagine a weapon that could become a shield that could become a communication device, a device that could help species talk, that could solve problems. This was what humans were creating. The technological singularity was not just about machines. It was about understanding, about solving problems, about creating a future where different species could live together. Hai-Jin looked at the screens. Each screen showed a different part of human progress. Each screen told a story of a species that refused to be limited, a species that saw challenges as opportunities. The galaxy watched, sometimes in fear, sometimes in wonder, but always with respect. Humans were not just creating technology. They were creating a new way of solving problems, a new way of understanding each other. Everything changed. Slowly at first, then all at once. Diplomatic channels that once looked down on humans now wanted their help. Military leaders from different star systems studied human tactics. They wanted to understand. They wanted to learn. The Galactic Council meetings were different now. When humans arrived, everyone listened. No more talking down. No more thinking humans were young or weak. J1 walked into the meeting room. He did not look powerful, but everyone knew he was dangerous. Not because of weapons, but because of knowledge. The alien races had rules. Old rules. Rules that had kept peace for thousands of years. Humans did not care about these rules. Humans made their own rules. In the past, small conflicts could grow into big wars. Humans changed that. Their communication systems could solve problems faster than old diplomatic channels. Their technology could stop fights before they became serious. The defense platforms were everywhere now, not just human platforms. Aliens asked humans to help build protection systems, to help create safe spaces where different species could talk. Young human teams went to different star systems, not as soldiers, as problem solvers. They studied conflicts. They understood why species fought. They created solutions nobody had seen before. The nano-weapon systems were now famous. These were not normal weapons. They could become shields. They could become communication devices. They could repair damage. They could help species that were hurt. Some alien races still felt fear. Some felt hope. But everyone saw that humans were different. Communication networks jumped across star systems. Messages moved faster than light. Information that could not be blocked, could not be stopped. Hygien's AI systems could now understand conflict. Not just fight, not just defend, but understand why species fought, why problems happened, how to solve them before they started. The orbital platforms protected entire planetary systems. They could stop attacks before they happened. They could create safe spaces where different species could communicate. Diplomatic teams from different species started asking humans for help. Humans did not just solve problems. They helped species understand each other. A small conflict near the Proxima sector showed everything. 3 different species had been fighting for 50 years. Humans arrived. They did not send weapons first. They sent communication teams. Smart people who could talk to different species. People who could understand problems. People who could find solutions. The communication systems were special. They could translate not just words, but feelings. Not just language, but culture. They could help different species understand each other. Where other species would send weapons, humans sent understanding. J1 knew this was just the beginning. Humans were not just defending themselves. They were defending the galaxy, one problem at a time. The defense networks grew. The communication systems became stronger. The problem-solving teams became smarter. And the galaxy watched, sometimes in fear, sometimes in wonder, but always with respect. Humans had learned something important. Fighting was easy. Solving problems was hard. The Galactic Council saw humans differently now. No longer a young species to be controlled, but a partner, a problem solver, a defender. The tide had turned, and nobody saw it coming. The delegation arrived quietly. No big ships, no loud sounds, just a small communication vessel that landed at the Earth Global Defense Center. 3 alien representatives walked into the meeting room. They looked nervous. Their skin changed colors when they felt different emotions. Right now, they were a mix of gray and pale blue, fear and worry. J1 waited. He knew why they came. Everyone knew why they came. The lead diplomat from the Kralthari Directorate spoke first. Her voice was soft, but everyone could hear it clearly. "We are concerned," she said, "about your weapon technologies." The room was silent. Young human scientists watched. Military leaders watched. Communication experts watched. The alien diplomat continued. Her words were carefully chosen. "Your development of advanced technologies is moving too fast. You are creating systems that can change everything. We want you to slow down." J1 did not move. He just listened. The data was clear. In the past 5 years, human technologies had stopped more conflicts than all other species combined. They had created communication networks that helped different species understand each other. They had developed defense systems that protected entire planetary systems. But the aliens saw something else. They saw weapons. They saw change. "We are worried," the diplomat said again, "that you do not understand the balance of the galaxy." J1 smiled. Not a happy smile. A smile that made everyone uncomfortable. Hyjin stood next to him. She carried a folder with new technology designs. These were not just weapons. These were solutions to problems nobody had solved before. The alien delegation explained their concerns. Humans were moving too fast. Humans were creating technologies that could change everything. Humans were breaking old rules. But humans did not care about old rules. The communication systems could now translate not just words, but feelings. Not just language, but culture. They could help different species understand each other in ways nobody had done before. The nano-weapon systems were another surprise. They could become shields. They could become communication devices. They could repair damage. They could help species that were hurt. The orbital platforms could protect entire planetary systems. They could stop attacks before they happened. They could create safe spaces where different species could talk. The alien delegation wanted humans to stop, to slow down, to follow old rules. J1 had a different plan. He showed them data, numbers that proved how human technologies were making the galaxy safer, how their systems could solve problems faster than old diplomatic channels. The aliens listened. Their skin changed colors. From gray to blue, from blue to green, they were feeling different emotions. Fear, worry, and something else. Respect. The plea was simple. Stop building bigger weapons, they said. J1's response was even simpler. No, he said. The galaxy watched. Some felt fear, some felt hope, but everyone knew something big was happening. Humans were not just a species anymore. They were a solution to problems nobody had solved before. They had warned humanity. Now they begged humanity to stop. The galaxy looked different now. Humans had changed everything. Not with big fights, not with destruction, but with understanding. J1 stood on the main Earth defense platform. Around him, screens showed different star systems, communication networks, defense systems, problem-solving teams. 12 years ago, alien races had looked down on humans. They thought humans were weak, stupid, dangerous. They were wrong. Humans did not become destroyers. They became defenders, solvers, creators of peace. The quantum communication networks could now translate not just words, but feelings, not just language, but culture. They could help different species understand each other in ways nobody had done before. Hygen's AI systems could understand conflict, not just fight, not just defend, but understand why species fought, why problems happened, how to solve them before they started. The nano-weapon systems were famous across star systems. They were not normal weapons. They could become shields. They could become communication devices. They could repair damage. They could help species that were hurt. Orbital platforms protected entire planetary systems. They could stop attacks before they happened. They could create safe spaces where different species could talk. Young human teams went to different star systems, not as soldiers, as problem solvers. They studied conflicts. They understood why species fought. They created solutions nobody had seen before. The Krell theory had first tried to stop humans. They sent warnings. They sent messages. They tried to slow down human progress. Humans did not listen. Every time the alien races tried to create a limit, humans saw it as a challenge, not a wall, a problem waiting to be solved. Communication networks jumped across star systems. Messages moved faster than light. Information that could not be blocked, could not be stopped. Some alien races still felt fear. Some felt hope. But everyone saw that humans were different. The defense networks grew. The communication systems became stronger. The problem-solving teams became smarter. Humans had learned something important. Fighting was easy. Solving problems was hard. The Galactic Council saw humans differently now. No longer a young species to be controlled, but a partner, a problem solver, a defender. J1 looked at the screens. Each screen showed a different part of human progress. Each screen told a story of a species that refused to be limited. They had warned humanity it would not survive without help. Now they begged humanity to stop building bigger weapons, and humanity was just getting started. The galaxy watched, sometimes in fear, sometimes in wonder, but always with respect. Humans were not just a species anymore. They were a solution to problems nobody had solved before. The future was coming, and humans would lead the way.